I made some stupid comments about Charlie Kirk on the day that he was shot. I said some things on Blue Sky and on Threads that I I'm sorry not sorry for, but I said them and I deleted them when it was requested that I do so by my employer. And then today on a weekend, I'm told that I am no longer employed at Microsoft after 6 years building the diversity, equity, and inclusion department from scratch. I lose my job because one of you, some random person, reports my posts to my employer, goes out of their way to find out where I work, and takes my job, takes my security away from me for a thought, for an opinion. And you talk about freedom of speech like you care about it, and you're just going to take my money, my life, my food off my plate because I don't like Charlie Kirk? That's not okay. It is not okay to target me because I felt joy that day. I can't help how I feel. I felt joy. That's me. That's what I believe. That's what I think of him. I can't help that. So I don't deserve a job?
Today I got fired from my job. I'm a real estate agent, and I got fired because something that I post in Instagram, and they called me to the office and they asked me to remove everything, which I did. And after I removed the post and the picture that I put, I was told that I no longer working for the company. And all this is because of my manager, Monica, and she's the one that created all this shady scenario. She's the one that pushed for me to lose my job. And today I'm outside my house because I don't have the balls to see my wife and tell her what happened, and I had kids.
We have some big news right now. Right-wing conservatives are now falsely accusing individuals of spreading inappropriate comments about Charlie Kirk. And we now have an example of an assistant principal at a school in Elkhorn now being falsely accused for doing something she never did. An Elkhorn area school district says that an assistant principal was falsely accused by far-right Twitter personality Ryan Fournier. She was accused of spreading inappropriate comments and messages about Charlie Kirk following his death. Those on the right have been seeking to fire and cancel any individual who made inappropriate or insensitive comments about Kirk. And as part of this effort, they now falsely accused an assistant principal in the Elkhorn School District, even though she did nothing wrong, getting over 800 messages to the school. And now Fournier has retracted this on Twitter, but in a lot of ways, the damage had already been done. This is significant news. Spread the word. I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack, link in bio. Subscribe for free.
Right now, Republicans are trying to expose and get people fired from their jobs if they mocked Charlie Kirk's death on social media. Now, let me be clear. I don't think anybody should be mocking it, but aren't the Republicans the ones who decried cancel culture for years? And now they're engaging in cancel culture. Some on the right have called for aggressive punishment of anyone seen condoning his assassination. Former advisor to Donald Trump, Steve Bannon, called for mass arrests and a crackdown on universities, while Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has directed staff to identify and discipline service members who mocked it. And you're already seeing this take place in different parts of the country. For example, in airlines, Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy called for the firing of American Airlines pilots accused of celebrating his death. He said, quote, "The pilots were immediately grounded and removed from service." Delta also announced it had suspended employees pending an investigation after they shared social media posts that went beyond healthy debate. It's happening at schools and universities too. A school district in Idaho said it fired an employee who allegedly posted a video online. The school district did not elaborate on the contents of the video, but said that it was shocked and saddened. There's now actually a website where people are compiling people's social media posts, their names, their employers, and things like that to expose them. So let me reiterate it again so Republicans don't get it twisted. I do not think people should be mocking it. I don't think people should be condoning it. But the Republicans yelled for years about cancel culture and not engaging in it, and that's exactly what they're doing right now.
Right, guys, welcome back to the channel. This is Hosting Stories KE, and personally, I hope and believe you are doing super fine and great whenever you will be watching this episode from. Now, guys, do you know that people are getting fired for just airing their views and thoughts on social media about Charlie Kirk's death? Especially people who posted any negative things or any negative comments on Charlie Kirk's death. They are getting fired. They are being targeted by the Republicans. They are being hunted down. People are snitching onto them. The information is given out to their employers. We are now seeing cancel culture becoming a conservative culture in the United States, a culture that the Republicans was against. It is now targeting employees right now. People are getting fired, ranging from doctors, drivers, Uber drivers, pilots, nurses, teachers, people, journalists, not to mention military, police officers. People are literally getting fired for just commenting negatively on Charlie Kirk's death. Cancel culture is now resurrecting, guys. Yeah, cancel culture is now resurrecting in the United States. Let's watch these videos, guys, on how people are complaining that they are getting fired. People are literally getting fired in massive numbers. The information is being leaked. They are being snitched to their employers. Information about them is being given out so that they can be fired because of just airing their thoughts, their freedom of speech on social media. Let's watch these videos get together. Then I'll be giving my commentaries at the end of this video.
This is really getting out of hand. A Washington Post columnist was fired from her job for literally quoting something that Charlie Kirk said, and there's proof that he said this on the internet. I'll prove it too. Watch this clip of JD Vance denying that Charlie Kirk ever said this, and then I'll play the clip of him saying those exact words.
The writer accuses Charlie of saying, and I quote, "Black women do not have brain processing power to be taken seriously." But if you go and watch the clip, the very clip she links to, you realize he never said anything like that. He never.
They're coming out and they're saying, I'm only here because of affirmative action. Yeah, we know. You do not have the brain processing power to otherwise be taken really seriously.
In that clip, he was referring to Joy Reid, Michelle Obama, and Justice Jackson, saying that none of them have the brain processing power to be taken seriously or get a job fair and square, so they have to rely on DEI. A Washington Post columnist quoted him and called out this insane behavior, and then she was fired from her job for, quote, endangering her colleagues. To make things even worse, they apparently rushed her out of her job without even having a conversation with her. That is a clear and obvious violation of free speech as well as the journalistic fairness the Post claims to uphold. It's one thing to justify political violence. That is never okay or acceptable in any scenario, but she was not doing that. She just pointed out something that he said. A majority of these people being doxxed and losing their jobs are just pointing out that they don't like Charlie Kirk or agree with the insane things that he would say. The MAGA crowd needs to understand the most important type of free speech that's worth fighting for and protecting is the speech that you don't agree with.
Charlie Kirk had the right to his opinion, so how come nobody else gets that same courtesy? When did conservatives fall in love with cancel culture? Because I thought that was the weakest thing that you could do. Y'all remember when conservatives said cancel culture was weak and un-American to do? They said, real Americans don't cancel people, they debate them. Fast forward to now. Charlie Kirk dies, and fast forward to conservatives calling for people who have a difference of opinion to be fired. Businesses are now being boycotted because they didn't clutch their pearls in the right way. So let me get this straight. When conservatives cancel people, it's called patriotism. But when everybody else does it, it's woke cancel culture. I'm going to tell you what this Charlie Kirk stuff exposes. It exposes, again, the hypocrisy. Because according to Republicans, you can have any opinion you want as long as it's their opinion. You can support any business as long as that business kisses the conservative ring. That's not leadership. That's a dictatorship with different branding. I don't know about the rest of you, but I didn't sign up to be a sheep. I didn't sign up for government or a movement to tell me what I can and cannot say, who I can support, whose death I'm required to care about. Charlie Kirk had the right to his opinion. So how come nobody else gets that same courtesy? So I gotta ask, when did cancel culture become conservative culture? Because all I see now is a party that swore canceling was weak, But now it's their newfound hobby.
I just got fired. Kind of happy about it. You said I have to leave the premises like immediately? Okay. So, guess I'll see you guys later. I'm fired. You guys take care. Good luck, okay? Kind of relief. You guys have a good one. Oh man, I feel good. I just got fired. And honestly, when they told me, I was like a little like, eh. But then after, I was like, fuck this. They're back there having their little chat together. The guy that let me go was trying to block me from saying goodbye to my coworkers right now. Like, he was like guarding them or something. And then that's when I was like, okay, bye. Goodbye, guys. I'll see you later. They let me go. They fired me. He looked all disappointed. But honestly, dude, I feel relieved. I feel very relieved. I mean, I'm going to be fucked if I'm not going to get unemployment, but fuck it, dude. As they were like having me sign my forms and shit and like terminating me. Wait, let me say goodbye to my friend Michael. Hi, Michael. I'm done. Yeah, so it is what it is. But I think the relief that I'm feeling is a good sign because I did not want to do my shift today anyways. Like, I had a bunch of number 1 lessons, and that's dealing with first timers, so fuck it, dude, I'm feeling good. I'm also shaking a little bit because I'm in shock, but whatever, dude, it is what it is. I'm gonna do me. Yeah, they were trying to be all nice about it and stuff, and professional, and they were like, you can keep the sweater and all the shirt and whatever, it's all yours. I'm just like, what the fuck do I need this shit for? But whatever, I'm free, dude. I'm free. And I think I'm just gonna start trying to do more of the things that I want to do and not worry about any other one else. That's one of my coworkers driving in the car, my ex-coworkers. He was pretty cool too. He would always like be like upfront and like just tell me how fucking draining the job was, and me and him were just both like fucking over the job. He's been working here longer than I have, so I'm just glad. I'm glad they let me go. It wasn't, I didn't quit on myself, or I made a mistake, but fuck it, I'm done. It's all cool. Wish me luck, y'all. I'll be posting more content. I don't know what, but I'm free.
A lot of people are being fired right now for sharing their beliefs and their happiness over the death of Charlie Kirk. Nurses, managers, MSNBC employee, deans of schools, teachers, restaurant owners, business owners, managers. We don't want your business. We don't trust you. We don't trust that you have our best interest in heart. So no, we don't want your business. We don't want restaurant owners to spit in our food. We don't want nurses to sabotage our health. We don't want electricians doing something to our home that could cause harm. We just don't trust. And I'm not saying any of them are going to do this, but if we know that they're celebrating the death of such a good person like Charlie Kirk, their values don't align with goodness and honesty, integrity. We're going to want to give to our business to people who align with us. Birds of a feather flock together. So all of those who were celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk, you're fired. As Donald Trump would say, you're fired.
Charlie Kirk critics are losing their jobs for online comments made after his death. Indeed, they are. And, okay, I literally don't care. It's actually quite simple. Charlie Kirk was the moderate who fought for free speech and debate, and y'all killed him. And now you get what is standing behind him. People are now making these funny posts where they're like, wait a minute, you mean there are people more extreme than Charlie Kirk? And it's, basically everybody. Now, I wouldn't say this of myself. I'm not trying to sit here and be like, ooh, I want people to be fired or anything like that. But I'm going to say it like this. I don't defend my enemies. I stopped. I used to because I felt that our enemies in this country over politics were our neighbors, and not really, enemies is the wrong word. They were opponents in political debate. But you know what? I had a lot of liberal friends, and I went to their house for the holidays, and we'd have food. And I remember being at my one friend's house in L.A., and she got her and a few of her friends were over, and some issue of politics came up, and I just explained from a moderate position, like, well, here's what conservatives actually think, and here's what I think is happening. And they're like, oh, and they're liberals. These people are now celebrating Charlie Kirk's death, dancing on his grave, saying he deserved it, he got what he wanted, and things like that. I'm not going to defend you. I don't care. Now, there are many liberals who are saying this is cancel culture and the right's hypocritical. But too bad, I guess. Let's just be real. First and foremost, there's a big difference between, digging up an old tweet from somebody from 10 years ago and getting them fired. That's what cancel culture was. Or how about that race car driver, I think with NASCAR, whose father in the 80s once used a racial slur, so a sponsor dropped him. That's cancel culture. Sarah Silverman did a blackface gag 10 years ago, and they booted her from a movie over it 10 years later. So that's cancel culture. But y'all liberals going on your pages and saying it's good that a man was shot and killed in cold blood in front of his wife and children and 3,000 people is psychotic. And you know what? I got to be honest. I don't care. I really don't care. You're fired. Goodbye. Now, it doesn't stop here. The story is not just they're getting fired. It's that. That's never the case. Look, banning people was never going to work. Censoring people was never going to work. I always have maintained this. What's happening now is the left is creating a database of people who've lost their jobs as a support network to create the parallel economy, which I warned about a long time ago, it's being built. And it's not just the left attacks the right. The right responds by building up a parallel economy. The left is now entrenching and doing the same thing. And would anyone like to comment below, please, right now? Let's see who gets it first. Where this leads to.
I'll be damned if I see another person that got fired from their job for celebrating Charlie Kirk's death come and bitch about the fact that they lost their job, as if Charlie Kirk didn't lose his life for his opinion. Are we for real? Losing your job is nothing compared to what Charlie lost.
Lose your pig meat.
What I really want you to see is the fact that you don't think you should lose your job over the opinions that you have.
Spit it out!
Yet you think it's okay for Charlie to die over the opinions he had.
What?
You people are living contradictions. You can always get a better job. You can always fix yourself, heal yourself, change your opinion, do whatever because you're alive.
You are spitting.
There's no more mistakes Charlie Kirk can make. He can't change his mind on any opinions that you might have thought he was wrong about because his life was ended. All of y'all were saying, oh my God, it's karma, that's why he got shot. You don't think you've accumulated any bad karma after you celebrated someone dying? Y'all are tweaking. Hopefully the love of Jesus Christ heals that heart of yours.
You know, this thing called cancel culture, the Republicans long time ago saw this and said it was a very weak move, a very weak strategy for the people of the United States. Actually, they were complaining about it. They were against it. But now, majority of the people who are firing these employees are from the Republicans. People who don't want any negative comment to be said on Charlie Kirk. They don't want any negative comment that can be said. They don't want their employees to say any negative comments from their for the Charlie Kirk's death. So they are literally practicing cancel culture. I think that once they said it was a very weak strategy and move. You know, cancel culture is whereby you target a person, especially online, for commenting negatively, or a person or a brand for just commenting negatively on thing, or saying a bad thing about the company, or bad thing about the president, or bad things about a famous person, or bad thing about the CEO of that company, or negative things or negative comments. Now, this cancel culture, it is now used against these people who are saying bad thing against Charlie Kirk. And these are the same people, especially Charlie Kirk, was advocating for freedom of speech. Now, if that person was advocating for freedom of speech, why should they arrest people for expressing their freedom of speech about a person who was really advocating freedom for speech? Where is now the freedom of speech? Where? You see, these are just some of the things that I think right now shouldn't be happening, but unfortunately, people are getting fired. That is the bottom line. People are getting fired. So if you are a Republican or if you are being employed, if you are being employed to a Republican or someone who was really supporting MAGA or someone who was really supporting this Charlie Kirk, you should be worried about what you will be posting next on social media, especially during this time of Charlie Kirk's death, because anything can land you in trouble and anything can make you lose your job that you've been working for years, not to mention years and years. You might lose your job because of commenting negatively on Charlie Kirk's death. So you guys do tell me what you think about these videos and these people complaining they are being fired because of commenting negatively on Charlie Kirk. Because the other day we saw some people were literally celebrating, not to mention commenting, but others were celebrating, partying because Charlie Kirk was dead. They were literally celebrating online. And apparently, some of them are now getting arrested. Not to mention being fired. Some of them are now getting arrested for just celebrating the death of Charlie Kirk publicly. You see, things are not pretty at all in the United States right now. Cancel culture is now becoming a conservative culture. A thing that they were against. It is now a thing that they are now advocating, because firing someone because of his or her freedom of speech, that is cancel culture. In my own opinion though. You do tell me what you think about this video, guys. Subscribe and tell me what are your thoughts on this. Are these people really practicing cancel culture? Are these people who are being fired, is the firing worth it? Should they express their freedom of speech, or what do you think, guys? Subscribe and see you in our next episode.